I think it's coming down, though, on pros wanting power. A lot of these pros that I've been talking to, and I've been traveling a lot recently, kind of with the tour and chatting with a lot of them, Roscoe wants less power, more spin. Hunter Yates, less power, more spin.
Singles in particular, though.
A lot of,
singles is, I think,
singles
a little
is where
different
it's at.
than dubs.
Oh, singles and dubs are definitely completely different games now. But even in doubles, Roscoe's like, these paddles are too much. I want it to be more dead and spin more.
But I also think I'd be curious to know like how much more dead, right? Like if we could put it into like our translation of paddles, like are we talking pickle level soft? Are we talking 6-0 or 6-0 coral soft? Like, you know, what is the limit? Maybe it's like J2NF, which is like still be powerful, but it's like soft relative to a Luz Inferno to them.
Personally, I think we cap it at the level of like a coral and we boost the spin.
Here's I've argued this like many times. I'm curious what your take is. I feel like if let's just say you let it go crazy. Ping pong rubber. You want to put that at, I feel like people are going to start hitting dinks that aren't coming back.
I think that's pretty interesting to watch.
You got to be more athletic.
But let's take singles. Do you think that wouldn't just completely break singles?
I think the way that we're playing singles right now is obviously
garbage.
It would have. You don't like it?
I think
way better
he's
than.
He's just not good at it.
No, I don't care. I don't care for myself. I genuinely think that current singles is way less interesting than a couple years ago.
That's crazy.
So
watching people play mini tennis on a tiny court, people are just it elevates the memes that people are like, this is worse tennis. You're like, oh, you're running on a smaller court. Like, how athletic are you?
But it's better than 2023, 2024, early 2025 singles. So the way that I think of singles and era, Electrum changed singles completely in 2021 when they first came out with that paddle. The first like raw carbon fiber paddle that was adopted by pros. Before that, you had to come to the net. You could not pass people outright. You had to play cat and mouse. That was the game because you couldn't generate the topspin to pass somebody who's already at the net, right? That, I think, was golden era of pickleball singles. That is where you had all these crazy cat and mouse highlights. That's where pickleball singles actually looked different than tennis singles, right? Then we get raw carbon fiber paddles where you can generate all of the spin that you want, and it turned into 1, 2, 3. That point is over within serve, return, third, maybe a fourth. That's about it. It's like, I'm going for broke on my third shot pass. Good luck. Have fun, everybody else.
See, but I feel like, and I mean, you're playing on the tour, so you do know better than me, but I feel like 2023, 2024, like maybe more, I'll say both of those years. Like when Ben was still more relevant or like winning a lot in singles, like that was the raw carbon fiber era and with more powerful paddles, and there was still a lot of cat and mouse. And like people play, like points I feel like were still pretty extended. They were definitely shorter than like the earlier era that you're talking about. But I feel like that like made it unique to pickleball. And now the current era is like, oh, let's have a slugfest until you give me a short ball. Then I'll go to the net. And people are still getting past.
Okay, Here's my hot take. I don't think it's the paddles that are changing singles. I think it's the ball.
I agree with that.
So think back to when the original Gen 3, when they were core crushed out of the factory and those came out, they were still playing cat and mouse points with those paddles that are super powerful or more powerful than what we have capped now, but now singles is different. I think it's the ball, not the paddle.
Well, I think it's both. The power of paddles is higher and the ball is higher.
We give everybody boomsticks, but we play with Franklins. You're not going to see people staying baseline to baseline. You're going to see more cat and mouse.
Yeah, sure. That's fine by me. I think that would be better.
So it's not the paddle. It is more on the ball.
Well,
I would agree.
I mean, yes, that ball is very fast. You could nerf either, whether you want to do the paddle or the ball. I don't really care. I just think my whole argument was that current singles, I think, is very boring.
It does. It looks more like mini tennis. My argument is I think it's more interesting now because we're actually having longer rallies than like 2023 through end of 2024.
I like the fact. Sorry to cut you off. I like the fact that you have to be more strategic on which ball you come into the net on than I'm going to return and charge the net every single point.
Okay, my counter argument for this is this feels like back in the day when all we did was dink And you like right now it's like, okay, we're gonna hit a bunch of ground strokes until you give me a short ball, kind of like when we had to dink and you finally gave a bad ball. No one liked that era. Now the era is like, I'll just peg you in the Hayden Patrick Quinn. Just don't even. As soon as I said it, I knew. As soon as I said it, I knew you were gonna.
Is this Colin Johns?
Gosh dang it!
I didn't know Colin was on the
can't
pod.
believe I don't even need to say anything. This is wild.
But you just smoke someone in the chest. Like I just think it's equally watching people hit ground strokes from the baseline is equally as boring as watching a long dink rally to me. Less so because yes, people are running and they're not running and dinking, but to me that feels the equivalent.
But I mean, a long dink rally is like 70 shots. A long singles rally is like 15. Like I just, you know, I think you're the odd one out on this one.
Zane and I are on the same page here.
Yeah, we got two pro shills over here. We'll see what the people who actually have to watch this stuff think.
I'm not fond of where singles is, and so don't take that the wrong way. Like I prefer the way that it was played, like 2020 and before. All I'm saying is I think the ground stroke era was better than the 3-shot era of singles.
So, but you agree that if we were more in the cat and mouse era, it would be better.
100%. Yes.
Okay, that's my whole argument. I don't really care which year you're picking here. It's just that I think cat and mouse style stuff was way more entertaining.
Yeah. No, I'm 100%. Yes.
Yeah. Like I just think like watching these ground strokes, I'm like, you know, for example, like I felt for the longest time that generally men's singles was a lot more entertaining than women's singles because they'd already been doing ground stroke stuff from the baseline for so long, and I was like, okay, I'll just go watch tennis.
Agree.
Now we have both of them doing the same thing, you know. Mm-hmm. But I do think like the athleticism that's on display currently versus any of the older eras is like far better. Like people are doing stuff that old eras like probably couldn't even imagine, you know, like the way they're moving and like sliding. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'd like to see like, I don't know how you actually do this in practice, but like a singles ball versus a doubles ball, right? A singles ball is just super, super dead. But, you know, that'd be brutal for the players who play 3 divisions, right? That's almost like singles completely diverging, but that's how you get that back to cat and mouse. You need a ball that doesn't bounce and is super slow.
Yeah.
And right now we have a ball that bounces like crazy and is super fast.
It's super crazy. It's just an absolute rocket of a ball.